It's the real deal, y'all. It is Friday, May 24th, 2024, approximately 7:50 p.m. The storm that we got yesterday evening was a confirmed tornado. I've heard several reports from an E or an F0 to an F1 to F2. I think it was more classified of a high-end F1, maybe a low-end F2, kind of like right on the border. Caused a lot of destruction in my neighborhood. Fortunately, my house didn't get any damage, but a lot of my neighbors weren't so lucky. A lot of power lines down. As you can see, it's still dark here. The power has not been back on since about 7:05 yesterday evening, so it's definitely been 24 hours without power. I don't know if you can hear a motor humming. That is my neighbor's generator, which as much power goes off here, I should start looking into getting one. But it was really scary yesterday evening once I realized all that wind was blowing in the same direction, leaves, twigs, and everything. I mean, it was just all like it was being thrown all in the same direction. And it was like I knew something was up. Something wasn't right. And I drove through my neighborhood a couple of times, and just, it's like a war zone. Trees have fallen on people's houses, cars, barns. When the storm hit last night after it was over, we all walked out, and there was no way in or out of my subdivision because every street had a tree blocking it that fell. And there's thunder. We got another round of storms. We already had one round earlier, but it wasn't that much. It kind of weakened before it got here, so it was just a little bit of rain and a couple of bits of thunder. This one is going a little bit more north of me. So we're kind of south of it. So I don't know. I would say we miss it, but that's what I thought the one day yesterday. It was actually kind of going south of me, but then suddenly it turned and hit right through my area. There's a local marina that was just destroyed here by the lake. Let's see. Yeah, pretty much. And so the police at one point was not letting anybody in that didn't live here or was to visit somebody that lived here. So if they couldn't give them a specific address, they were turning them away. So a friend of mine came to visit today and checked on me, which is awesome. Several of my family members called and checked on me, and and some of my friends, colleagues messaged me, and so it's been really great, and it's just awesome seeing how everything, all the neighbors around here banded together. They have an emergency trailer, the emergency management, across the street from my entrance to my subdivision. And then the local community center has a shelter where you can go cool down. They have cots that you can sleep if you can't stay at your house, and all. But everything here, I mean, it's a little warm, and I've been sweating a little bit this evening. It's pretty much for the most day, it wasn't too bad. Kept my doors shut and my windows shut. Up until about maybe 3:30. That's what I wanted. I wanted the lightning. To about 30 or 4 o'clock, it started getting warm in here. So I've opened up the windows and having the breeze come in. The breeze was a little bit warm, but at least there was a breeze, because I'm so used to having fans going and everything. It could be 50 degrees in this house and I would still sweat. More thunder. I would still sweat because I just don't have no air going across my skin. Just how I'm wired. Kind of weird, right? Last night, I didn't get to sleep till well after midnight. And the thought of, you could hear chainsaws going well into I remember it was after midnight, and I could still hear chainsaws going out in the neighborhood. And but I really appreciate all the first responders, firefighters, police, EMS, and the neighbors, and how everybody just banded together. Nobody was killed or seriously injured, so that was the good part. That was very fortunate. That although a lot of my neighbors weren't so fortunate with the property can be replaced, and so I'm happy. I think one person was transported to the hospital, but it was minor injuries. It wasn't life-threatening. But like I said, right after the storm, there was no way in or out of the subdivision. So the first responders, EMS, they were coming in and they'd park their vehicle, get their emergency kits, and then go out on foot to the where they were trying to respond to. And then people on the inside that couldn't get out, they would meet them, pick them up in their pickup trucks and cars, and take them to wherever they needed to go. So, I mean, they really had a great system going here. Just seeing everybody in action was really great. I mean, it wasn't even 20 minutes after the storm stopped that people were out there. You can hear chainsaws going, getting those streets clear. But, I mean, I just never seen so many power lines down. I have a feeling we're going to be without power for a couple of days. I'll be surprised if we have power before Memorial Day on Monday. But I am, like I say, I'm glad that there were no serious injuries or fatalities. I'm just heartsick for my neighbors, because I feel for people, and I don't want people to have to go through that kind of stuff. On the great news with my aunt, she is back in rehab, so she is no longer in the hospital, so she is doing great. I'm really happy that she gave us quite the scare. I'm supposed to go up there this weekend, but without power, and I can't feed my cats remotely because I don't have power. I have one of those automatic cat feeders. Plus, they don't have a little thing their water fountain that I keep running. It's not working, so I have to put water bowls out and change those out regularly. So I really can't go too far away from them until we get electricity back going. Plus, I don't want to take a chance of someone breaking in my house either. Today they were telling us no unnecessary driving. Try to stay where you can. Later this evening, I did go get me something to eat. I had for lunch, I had a hot dog bun, a wiener, and a piece of cheese with some mayonnaise on the bun. I put all my stuff that would spoil in the freezer, and ice is still going good, so I'm keeping that shut. Mayonnaise should be okay for a couple of days. Cheese should be okay. But I have sausage. My main thing was my sausage and my eggs, so I put those in the freezer so hopefully they'll stay good. But my mom's supposed to come tomorrow and visit, and we're going to have lunch. She's going to bring some lunch, and she's going to see my neighborhood. Of course, honestly, the front main road coming in looks a lot better. You can see where they replaced all of the power poles, all brand new power poles, and got those lines all back up. But there's a lot of streets and side streets that still have power lines on the ground, and you can see still the trees are still down on the ground. A lot of trees on top of houses and stuff. And but it was and it literally came out of nowhere. When I say out of nowhere, I don't mean it's just sunny and then poof. It was, it was raining. Yeah, no, somebody online said, no, there was already a storm cell going. It didn't just come out. I'm like, you know what? Stop being a dumbass. Don't take what I say literally. It was interesting how it started. It was like a steady stream rain with just a little bit of lightning, kind of like what it's doing right now. It's not even raining right now, but take the lightning and thunder it's doing right now, add a little bit of rain to it, just a little bit of wind. That's it, nothing more. We had that the day before. Really nice, really relaxing. And while I was here doing my vlog, that's when it just all of a sudden it just started pouring, and then hail starts, like somebody took a bucket and just poured the hail from the sky. That's how quick it happened. And that wind just started blowing, and all the twigs and limbs and leaves started coming over my house from the places behind me, and it was just like, oh my gosh, something's not right here. And then so it just happened real instant, and once it went over, it was instantly done. And I'm like, yeah. So technically, in a way, that did come out of nowhere. Not scientifically, because there was already a storm brewing. But people have to be such smartasses and take things too literal. But what's funny is the front side of my house, which is the door. I'm actually got my camera on my door, and the window sitting on a little lip there. And so I'm looking out my front window, and that side of my house clean. The side that the storm was coming from, it's got leaves and pine needles all stuck all from one end to the other. The roof on that side, it's got all that stuff all covered in leaves, and on the front side is pretty much clean. So you can tell what side of the house the storm came from. But fortunately, I had no damage. The hail got no bigger than about a dime size. There was this big limb that stopped that flew toward my house and stopped probably about 3 feet from the outside wall. But if it came any closer and hit a window, it probably would have broken it. So I was very fortunate there. I probably had about 7, 8, 9 trees cut down since I've lived here for about 2 years. And a lot of those trees hung over my house, had big limbs, and that were already was losing some of their limbs when heavy wind come through. So I'm very confident that if I hadn't had those trees cut down, I probably would not be making this vlog from this location. Yeah, so very fortunate that I took that proactive measure. I still got a few trees, but I need to work on my erosion now. We've had a very unusually wet year. I mean, my yard has not been dry since January, and here we are in May. Literally, my yard has not been dry since January. So, and I need to get dirt in here, but every time I turn around, it's raining, and I don't want to get that dirt get washed away. And so I'm trying to get. I think I'm gonna start buying bags of mulch and like potting soil, and just start and get like a bag of that and a bag of rock, and just start bringing it over and putting it out along the edges of my house to help control that erosion until all this stops. Because I have a feeling we're going to get to a point, it's just going to stop all of a sudden, and we're going to go into drought, hot summer, extreme temperatures, and by August we're going to be begging for rain again. I have that, it's either going to be that, or it's going to continue to be a wet year. I don't know. It's weird. This weather, I saw on the news that we've had a record number of tornadoes for the nation, over 800 this year alone, and they're predicting a record hurricane season. So buckle up, Buttercup. It's just beginning. Anyway, all right. Well, this morning I got on the scales. I was at 207 pounds. Awesome sauce. And thank God yesterday I went to the gym during my lunch break instead of after work, because if I went to the gym after work, I wouldn't have been able to get into my neighborhood. And my cats would have been stuck here. I wouldn't have been able to feed them. And, it was just crazy. So I want to go on lunch, because after work, I just wanted to go do some grocery shopping and come home, which is what I did. I came home and put my groceries away and sat down, ate my dinner, was enjoying the nice spring rain, decided I would just do this vlog, try to get a couple of maybe lightning flashes, maybe some thunder in the background. And while I was doing it, that's when that tornado came through. That's when it started. So after I finished that video, I just started video recording, taking pictures, because at the time I didn't realize it was a tornado. There was no sirens going off, and that's another reason why I'm saying it came out of nowhere. I mean, they weren't predicting it to come through right through here. They were predicting it to kind of go south of where I'm at, and all of a sudden, bam, it just showed up. So anyway, I've been on this for about 12 minutes, almost 13 minutes, and y'all stay safe out there. I don't know when I'm going to get these videos uploaded. I have no power. I need to save my battery, and whenever I upload videos, it kills my battery because I have a weak cellular service here. And obviously, no, I'm going to flip a light. I'm flipping the light switch. And so I have no lights. So I do have these little lanterns that I use to see by, but I'm probably not going to use those for right now, because I'm going to keep all the windows open now throughout the night to help bring the cooler temperatures in. And then in the morning, right as the sun starts coming up, I'm going to go back and shut all the windows and to try to keep that cool temperatures in here as long as they can before it starts getting hot tomorrow afternoon, unless the power comes back on. Oh, there comes more here. I don't know if y'all, there's power company, more power people. I mean, they're just all over the place. Oh, there's some more coming. Look at that. There's some more coming. This lightning, I just hope they're safe, and yes, we need power, but their safety is paramount. And they hope, if we do have a storm, or if this storm does come this direction, I hope they get to safety. So all right, well, I hope everyone has a great evening, and wherever you may be. They must be working right up here, which is good news. They're backing up. I've been hearing a lot of noises, seeing a lot of traffic I'm not used to seeing, trucks beeping. I can hear people talking on walkies, megaphones, sirens, police, EMS, fire, all that just throughout the day. And yesterday, after the storm was over, it was like almost like a horror movie where you have this big wicked tornado storm to come through, and then once it stops and the sun comes out, everybody starts flowing out of their houses out to the street. That's literally how it happened here. And we were all checking on each other, making sure everybody was okay, picking up big limbs out of the road so cars could pass through, and just really taking in, kind of seeing how, what the damage was and how severe our neighborhood got battered, which it got battered pretty bad. And that was just like an EF1, they said, almost an EF2. And so it's like, ooh, that was a terrible one. So, then you hear about these 3s and 4s. It's like, ooh, I hope I never have to experience those. No. But anyway, I've already said I was talking enough. I was going to get off here. It's 15. That's a Southern goodbye. You say you're going to leave. You're going to go for 30 minutes before you finally actually do, right? I need one with what do you call it? Rubber band where I can stretch it and pop. So, all right. Y'all take care now. Y'all here? So it has been confirmed. We received a high-end E1 tornado. And someone actually said they heard it was an E2 that came through the subdivision I live in. And the videos that I took of the wind was that part of that tornado. Fortunately, I didn't get the center of it, but just a couple of blocks from me is where the devastation really starts. And I don't know if you can hear all the ambulances in the background. But the neighbors are really stepping up, and several of them are out cooking and sharing food with neighbors that need it. And they set up a rescue center, the local Red Cross, over at the community center for anybody that needs a place to stay, and a cooling center. And then across the street from my subdivision, there's a emergency command center trailer. It's I can't put words to it. I mean, the pictures and videos that I have just does not do justice to the amount of, or to what the devastation looks like. It's crazy. Sweeties, you okay, Crooks? Crooksy. My babies. I just want y'all to be safe. You okay, sweeties? It's okay, sweeties. It's okay, sweeties.